We are now on a new topic called linear equation. Linear equation. So there are two main objectives we must cover for today. And one is brief introduction of linear equation. Two, linear equation involving a variable on one side of the equation. When we talk of an equation, always we use this symbol equal to. This is an equal sign. And when we write this equal to, it means we have the right hand side and the left hand side of the equation. Always there are two main sides. This is the right hand side and this part is the left hand side of the equation. And always for linear equation, we solve for variables. We solve for variables in the question. For every linear equation, we solve for variables. And always note that we group like terms and unlike terms. When I talk of like term, you see this marker. This marker is a like term because they are black markers. I can't combine this black marker with a blue marker because they are unlike terms. You cannot combine dogs with sheep because they are unlike terms, but we can combine cats with cats. So like terms, we know that is similar items, and unlike terms, they are not the same. So for linear equation, always we group what we call like terms, and after that we solve for variable. So the key thing is that you should note that for any linear equation question, you should group your like terms. And we have the right hand side of the equation and also the left hand side of the equation. And once you are working it out, if a number is positive and is crossing out the equal sign, it becomes negative. And if a number 2 is negative and is crossing the equal sign, it becomes positive. So let's move on to our second objective. Once we have understood a brief introduction of linear equation. So linear equation involving a variable on one side of the equation. So what this heading means is that, you see, I said we are having the right hand side of the equation and the left hand side of the equation. This means once you see a variable at the left hand side of the equation, you won't see a variable at the right hand side of the equation. And also, if you see a variable at the right hand side of the equation, you won't see a variable at the left hand side. So this is linear equation involving a variable on only one side of the equation. Let's take this example. Example 1. If 5x is equal to 20, solve for x. Solve for x. So you see, I've given you a variable on one side of the equation, and this time the variable is on the left hand side because this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. And once we are given a question like this, you ask yourself, what is the coefficient of x? It's what? 5. So you divide through by the coefficient of the variable, because in maths, what you do to the right hand side of the equation, you must do the same thing to the left hand side of the equation. So once I am dividing this portion by 5, you divide this portion too by 5. So 5 will cancel 5. 5 goes here 1, 5 goes here 4. So x is equal to 4. And always take note, they can ask you to find the solution set or truth set. Another name for solution set. Solution set is the same is the same as truth set. They can ask you to find the solution set of this. And if you are asked to find the solution set of this, you just write this in the curly bracket. We are not talking of this bracket. This bracket is wrong. You put your answer in the curly bracket and you write this x with the ratio s is to s is equal to 4, and you put it in this curly bracket. So if they ask you find the solution set or truth set, this is how you represent your answer. Now example 2, the second example. If 2x is equal to 10, find the solution set. You see, for this question, I didn't ask you to find x. These are the techniques in linear equation. I didn't ask you to find x, but they have asked you to find the solution set. And to find the solution set, you should work out your variable. You should first work out your variable first before writing your answer in the solution set. So to solve this question, you divide both sides by the coefficient of s, which is 2. So 2 goes here 1, 2 goes here 5. S is equal to what? 5. So the solution set becomes s is to s is equal to what? 5. That's our answer. The third example. If 3p minus 1 is equal to 8, so find the solution set. So you see now, I am expanding the questions. I have now given you 3p minus 1 is equal to 8. So for this question, we group like terms. This and this, they are not like terms because this is not having a variable what? P. But this and this are what? Like terms. So always, what I do is that I tell students to group the one with variables on the left-hand side of the equation and the one without variables on the right-hand side of the equation. So I will leave my 3p here, equal to 8. Once this crosses the equal sign, as I said, it becomes positive because it's negative. 3p is equal to 9. So p is equal to 3 because 3 goes into 9, 3. So the solution set becomes p is to p is equal to what? 3. That's the solution what? Set. Let's take the final example under type 1. The final example under type 1. If 5 plus 3 plus 2k is equal to 20, solve for k. This time find the truth set. So you see, I've given you 5 plus 3 plus 2k is equal to 20, and you have been asked to solve for k. What you must do is that you first add these like terms. So 5 plus 3 is what? 8, because they are like terms, and like terms can be added or subtracted. 8 plus 2k is equal to 20. Instead of them to give the question in this way, they rather brought many expressions. So you should simplify it to be this way. So 2k is equal to, we are grouping like terms. You write your 20, this one crosses the equal sign, becomes negative. 2k is equal to 12. We divide both sides by 2. Our k is 6. It's not always you will get whole number. There are times you will get fraction. So the truth set becomes k is to k is equal to 6, because always the variable you have been asked for, that's what you should write. You can't write x here because they haven't asked you to solve for x. They asked you to solve for what? K. So Note that another name for truth set is solution set, and for linear equation, we group like terms and solve for the variable. Thank you for this session.